YouTube is selected. See what happens.
We have auto start is enabled. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it says, it just said that it stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
It didn't continue.
Well, we made it. Well, okay. Well, let's. Unfortunately, YouTube is not working. So we'll just have to move on because we can't spend too much time just trying to get YouTube to work. So, hi everyone. How's it going? Hey, Cheeky Chi. Welcome to the stream. You guys have already played Alterium Shift. And what do you think? What do you think? You having fun? I mean, I saw Shorty put in some time, like some real
time.
A lot of time. Shorty's been giving us feedback like no other. And bug reports. The bug reports are legitimately awesome. So shout out to Shorty for being an awesome person for helping us out with that. Anybody who was watching us and we had to like stop, sorry about that. We were trying to get YouTube working, but for whatever reason, Streamlabs was not letting me choose the video like it did last time, and I'm not exactly sure what happened there. So, fortunately, if you have YouTube, you cannot watch the stream right now. I'm making you blush. Well, sorry. You make us blush by being an uber supportive person, so thank you.
Some people just make us cry, so blushing is good, right?
Yeah. I have all the tears right now. They're just dry because my throat is dry.
So yeah, my voice is very bad today. I apologize. After I streamed last night, it I don't know what happened to it. It just went down the road. So.
Oh yeah, you did stream last night, didn't you?
Yep. Didbax FB. Is that like Facebook? Thank you so much.
Hello.
All the pretty stuff. All the pretty stuff is draft. All the broken stuff is my fault. Draft does all the pretty things. I just break everything.
Well, you know what? A lot of those problems were also my own doing. Since I had been working on the story of Act 2, like I did a lot of that stuff, laying the groundwork for Mottzy to come back through and do his thing. Yes. But yeah, so a lot of my groundwork was broken, unfortunately.
So laddie, clearly you were singing too much. Yes, it must have been all my singing.
Yeah, all that singing, all that.
What? And I missed it? Yes, I streamed yesterday while I was fixing bugs. We fixed a lot of bugs. In fact, this is a good opportunity for us to talk about what we're going to be doing on stream today. Which is we're still going to play another, character through. This is the final couple days of the Steam Summer Sale.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, if you have not gotten your copy of Alterium Shift, please jump out there and get it. You can find the link by doing !AS, or you can just drop a wish list. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to rehash our sales goals and so on, and then we'll talk about all the things that we did this weekend, as well as things that we have planned for the future. Our sales goals do hint at some of those things, but regardless of those, there's plenty of other things we have on our roadmap. We want to make sure we stay as transparent as we can on where we're going, and all these lovely humans that are here that have been on our Discord or in the Steam forums giving us feedback, that has helped us a lot, and it's informed some of our decisions of what we're doing in July, which we didn't necessarily plan at first, but we are strong believers that when you see something that needs to change and we're getting the feedback on it, we try to get it fixed and going. So we'll talk a little bit about that too.
Yep. Let me switch over here.
You're gonna get yourself set up.
Yep. I have switched over. So let's talk about goals, baby.
Yeah. Well, actually, before we talk about goals, let's talk about if you've never done game development before, and maybe you've watched videos, or maybe you want to be a game developer or whatever. Let's talk about what it means to launch a game, even in early access. To get success it's very critical to get people engaged with the product. Now,
Yep.
of course, if you don't like the game, you're not interested, don't get involved with it, right? If you like what it looks like, you want to provide some level of support, and you're not sure you want to buy it because it's early access, a wish list is hugely helpful. It's
Yep.
very helpful when talking numbers with people like your publishers and other people in the industry. It also shows interest. If you do want to provide support by buying it, now is the time to do it, because Steam Summer Sale, it's $15.99. After the summer sale, it goes up to $19.99. Yes, that will create, a harder path to making sales, as well, because people may not want to spend that much money. I'm hoping that through the videos we're doing and the streaming and the conversations we're having, people understand that when you invest in this, it's not like you're buying a game and that's all you get, like a partial game. You're getting the ongoing updates, and you're also getting a lot of opportunity to influence some of the decisions that we're making with the game. I
Yeah.
mean, frankly, even if you play the demo and you provide feedback, we'll listen to it. We're not going to be deaf ears just because you didn't buy the game. But those who buy it, you get to see more. You get to go further along, and some of you who desire it will get an opportunity to get access to the beta branch, which frankly we're going to keep open for a long time so anybody can get access to it, but it will have less stable code. And I know, it's early access, so it's already not very stable sometimes, but we're trying our best to get all the little issues taken care of. There's a lot of things we fixed.
Yep.
So the other level of support you can do, though, if you have gone the route of purchasing the game, is to jump onto Steam and leave a review, preferably a
Yes.
good review, but I guess I can't force you to do that. Um, you know, the reviews also help things like sales goals, and we have to get to a certain number of reviews before that starts becoming something that will get pushed into like the algorithms, and maybe even bump things up in queues so it's more visible, because
Yep.
visibility is king when it comes to selling a game. um, and uh, as we've said time and time again, obviously we want to sell the game and like gangbusters, because we want to get some value out of it, but also we want to sell it because we love the genre, we like the style, we love the feedback we're getting, we want other people to share in the joy of the game. So for what that's worth, if you haven't already left feedback, but you've played the game and you like it and purchased it, consider maybe going in and putting a couple words. It doesn't have to be lengthy, it could just be a few bullet points. That will significantly help us.
Hey,
I
Cassie.
mean, like, I cannot emphasize how much it will help us. Cassie VT, hello, thank you for first time chat. You're such nice devs. We try very hard. Sometimes we're not very nice to each other when we're arguing about things, but we usually figure it out
Then
at
we
some
start.
point.
Then we resort to face jokes, and
Yeah, your face.
your face.
Which is a lot of face. There's a lot of faces happening around you.
Yeah,
Sometimes
absolutely.
our faces look exactly like ugly faces. We should do what Jonathan did and put ugly faces.
Put ugly Facington in the.
Yeah.
Actually, I could totally do that. You keep
Hey,
talking.
Burning. Okay, keep talking. So, Drass started bringing
bad
up
voice.
the 30-day sales goals. So we talked about this. We're going to lead with this so that we can get into showing the game and kind of just talking as we go. But as I said, to find success in a video game, it can't just be make a game and throw it out there and hope people buy it, right? You got to put effort behind it. It's just like streaming or any other sort of content generation. You've got to put effort behind getting people engaged. And so while you don't normally think of a early access like a Kickstarter, I think, because they're like fundamentally different models, we are trying to use a Kickstarter-esque approach, and we're being transparent about things like sales goals. We have a number of sales goals. The primary goal in the next, well, now it's like 25 days or something, is to hit 5,000 copies sold. That is a very significant number from a perspective of publisher. We got some funding from the publisher, and that helps them recoup the cost. So you think, oh, I'm buying the game, it's going all the developers. No, actually, like a little drop in the bucket is going to us. We got the funding so Drass can work full time on this. Let me tell you guys, if you haven't seen us working on the weekend, it's probably more than full time. And now moving forward with early access, we also got to help the publisher recoup some of that cost so that we can also then maybe invest more into the game. So getting the 5K mark is essential. We're getting very close to the 1K mark. So thank you everybody who purchased the game up to this point. We'd like to accelerate that if we can, but we'll do what we can to get there. The 1K mark is going to be we'll release a desktop um, uh, background for everybody, which is I think is one that we already use for some of our backgrounds. And
Mm-hmm.
then 2.5K mark, we'll start releasing our dev guide, which will give people who want to have some guidance on how the game works or any more specifics under the hood or find some secrets in there. We'll put that into our guide. And then the 5K mark is when we'll release the CRT filter tools and settings, so you can actually get something to look like a classic television, as well as getting an updated desktop um, uh, background, which includes new key art, which no one's seen yet, which we'll probably share with people at some time in the near future. But it's almost done. I think they're just putting the final touches on. Beyond that, beyond that, we have goals to do things like expand the wonderful, beautiful, amazing soundtrack that Jonathan Shaw has done for the game. He was just streaming today. He is heckin' amazing, and his style fits perfectly with what we're trying to do. And getting on 10K plus things like expanding the fishing mini game and providing new features for the fishing mini game and providing things like profile pictures that you can change for the characters, and they're not just a current art style, but additional key art styles that we're going to introduce. Um, we've hinted at some of the other things, which include things like guaranteeing a full physical release or adding a pet mechanic where you can have a pet that comes along with you, which we have plenty of characters, and someone jokes that we should have like ugly facing someone as a pet, which is probably a legitimate thing we should do.
Yeah, yeah.
There's more things of that nature. Of course, the sky's the limit if we're making sales. And that's, again, full transparency. We're not saying buy it out of pity. Obviously, if you like the game, you want to support us, get the game. Now's the time to do it. Once the summer sale's over, the price increases. That doesn't matter to you, fine, buy it at the next price. But this is the time to get it. Probably the cheapest the game will ever be, because once it launches, the price will increase.
Yep.
Did I miss anything on the goals?
No, I think you're good. Yep.
Before I go talking more, let me get caught up on chat here. If you have a friend who might like it, please share it with them. Yes, best chicken ever. Want to hug and try out? Try not to eat them. Well, the chicken lady has some opinions on that. Cybernite, hello. When's the OST releasing with the full launch of the game? I like how the fishing was not crazy complicated like some games. Well, thank you, Cassie. Yes, we favor that old style. We'll add some things that make it interesting over time, which honestly I have to consult with the fishing expert because I don't personally like fishing in games. But Drass is he likes it.
Oh, so you're referring to me, the fishing expert. Okay.
The fishing expert. He's
gotcha. I was wondering who that would be.
That would be you.
Oh.
But we'll be worried. I mean, one way or another, we will be enhancing that over time. But hitting our sales goals just mean we can enhance it even more. Someone asked even about like cooking and things like that, and we'd love to add a cooking mechanic as well.
Oh yeah.
One of our longer term goals.
Definitely.
I was upset my very first catch was not a fish, it was a boot. I'd love to do something like you catch 2 boots and then you can get them turned into like actual equipment. That would be funny.
That would be funny.
Just saying, it's a great game to get friends. It is. I've already bought 2 gift copies of Cybernite. Well, thank you very much.
That is very kind of you. Thank you.
That is super kind. We really appreciate it. Physical collector's edition needs the crystals included. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a little bit about physical collector's edition. Certainly that will be one of our target goals, right? And it won't be one of those like cheapo ones that you just get like a bunch of guides or something. We want to make something that really fits within the theme. If you haven't noticed, we've talked a little bit about this, and maybe there's some subtleties that get lost because there's so much in the game, but we try very hard to weave the whole theme of the game into everything we do. Whether it's the menus that we show, how we handle things like saves, how the echo shift works, which is supposed to encourage you to save hop. Everything we do, we try to interweave and make it sort of core. We want to make that lore part of how we present the game in totality. And because of that, if we're going to do a physical launch, which again, that's our goal, we want to make sure we weave that into what we provide as well. So certainly, there's going to be something to do with ugly faces. I'm talking about that gorgeous little chicken of ours. And I'm sure there'll be more things along the way that will end up weaving into that. Some of the things that we've learned during the last few days of bug fixing, and I don't know how you all feel when you get frustrated by bugs, but can you imagine being the 2 developers on the project just launching a game and people playing a game and saying, "Oh, this game has so many bugs, it sucks." That doesn't, of course, say it, of course, but yeah, of course, we think that sucks because we don't want bugs in the
Right.
game, and we've been trying very, very hard to get on top of these issues and get them resolved as fast as humanly possible.
Yep.
And what I wanted to talk about, speaking of segueing, is where we are currently at with the bug fixing process, as well as talking
Yep.
about some of the things we're going to be working on. So let me get caught up with chat again, and then I'll go into that.
Thanks, Steve X.
Is that how you say it?
That's how I'm choosing to say it. If I'm wrong, then
I played the demo.
Go ahead.
I played the demo and I bought early access. I love RPGs and I like to support these games. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. There's Ugly Facington hopping around, super happy about purchased version. I only got 3 hours in, haven't gotten far yet because I explore in every nook and corner. I don't trust Drass. I know he hit something somewhere. I can feel it in my toes. That must bug you out.
No, you really have to worry about Mottzy hiding things, because me, I'll do the bare minimum, but Mottzy will go the extra mile and probably 50 more miles.
Yeah, I mean, again, there are still things that nobody has discovered yet.
Yeah, there's things that I discovered. Of course, Mottzy runs across some of my stuff too, which is pretty funny. Like we find each other's like little jokes all the time, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, no. In fact, Drass is like chomping at the bit to get me to work on early access content because for a portion of time he actually built out a good chunk of the early access storyline because I was working on technical. I can only do I can do the Unity deep coding, and that's not his strength. So he can go write content while I'm building him nodes. Yeah. He really wants me to go in and revise it. So buckle up because early access content's only going to get more.
It's going to change some.
It's going to be fun.
Which is good. That's what we want.
The game is already something special. Thank you, Cypher.
Really appreciate that.
Is there plans for a mini map? There is. There has been some discussion.
Yeah.
But we haven't really settled on whether that's going to be critical or not. I suppose we'll watch how people play the game and whether that's going to become needed. We do have a map, and we do try to what we've talked about a lot, and this is more of a game design concept, is when you design a level, a world, you want to guide people roughly in the direction they need to go, so that if you walk around long enough, you'll end up where you need to be. And what we're observing is there are some places that weren't well designed in that way. And so we'll probably be making some slight modifications to map to help people figure out where they need to go, which could either be signposts or otherwise, or like the paths maybe need to be more clear because you can look on the ground and watch them. It's not to say we won't do a mini map. If you guys want a little bit of a look behind the hood, Drass and I are like polar opposites when it comes to how you guide a player. Drass is like, just put a pop-up with a tutorial that explains it perfectly. And I'm like, no heckin' way are we going to do that before we figure out if there's a way to do it that is in-game so it doesn't pull the player out of the game. So usually we go somewhere in the middle, and you guys will see that when it comes up to like how we explain echo shift. Because if we went rounds on that, he's like, well, let's just put a pop-up. We're like, no. But we have an idea now that will satisfy the tutorial nature, but do it in a way that is within game. So minimap feels a little bit to me like it's that just do a pop-up and show somebody. But what we might do with things like that is, should we get to doing a minimap, just make it an option, right? So people can decide if the minimap or not. Right? Because we don't want. I'm not such a purist that I don't want to introduce features that make the game easier for some people. I just want to challenge ourselves to try to do things that will make the game teach the player what they need to do without just like throwing up words on the screen. Because I've played some modern RPGs recently as I was investigating what's out there. And I can tell you, when I'm presented with a giant dialogue box that says, here's how all the mechanics works, my brain shuts off. I barely even read it. I just say, get past, I want to move on to the next thing. So a game that can teach you how to do those things without just giving you a wall of text to read, to me, has much more value. It's much stronger in quality um, than to just throw up a tutorial. Um, that's my opinion. I'm not saying those games are bad, but I prefer it when the game intelligently teaches me how to use it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Right.
there's games that even though I prefer like sometimes the tutorial approach, and there's still got to be a good flow to it, because yeah, like you said, I'm the same way. If there is a tutorial that has just a wall of text, I'm not going to sit there and read it. I just can't. My brain just goes boop, bye bye.
Yep. Exactly.
So, but if it's intuitive and it takes a limited amount of guiding, then I'm usually okay with that. So, anyways,
So he's going to get started on playing Sage this time. I'm going to get started on talking to you all about what we just did. Hold on. Heads up. YouTube, no working. I forgot I also need to post this on my home channel. So give me 1 second.
oh, that's fine. Yep. All right, let's not. We'll start with Sage. So we haven't actually played Sage on stream yet. So we'll start a new game with Sage. Sage is, I view Sage as special, in the way that they have probably the most interaction and dialogue of any of the characters as far as choices go. So the choices can lead in so many different ways, even at the start of the game.
Right.
Someone was actually streaming not too long ago, and I watched them restart the first part of the game like 4 times to just find out what the different ways you could wake Sage up
Oh my
are.
God.
So I thought it was hilarious because he was like, oh, you can just keep going. And then he was like, oh, I want to see what happens if you just wake up right away. So yeah, it's pretty funny. So I think it's funny because if you choose get up right away, it's like, oh, seriously? Like, yeah, seriously. This isn't like you. So each character does have like kind of a predetermined personality. So when you go against that personality as you're playing them, the game or the characters around you, the NPCs, will notice. They'll say, okay, this is weird. In this case, I guess it's kind of weird. It's kind of a fourth wall break here. It's like, this isn't like you. So, okay, I'll just sleep then. That's fine. It's not like me.
In a way, Sage is like our Deadpool, right? Sage is the one character that has expanded awareness of the world, and therefore they can actually, almost interact with you as the player and kind of fight against you and your choices.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get up.
Sage starts making choices. There's some places where you say something that's completely against their character, and Sage is like, "What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this?"
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I will say this, without giving any more away, the one place you might consider where there are things people still haven't discovered is Sage's room. So that's all I'm gonna say. It's just gonna drive people nuts, but there are 2 key things people have still not called out, and I'm like,
I think I know which one you're talking about because I was looking in the code the other day and I found this like iteration branch with.
That's it. You're good. You're good. Don't take it apart.
I'm not gonna say what it was connected to.
See, look at this. I didn't expect you to actually get up, laugh. Neither did I. Because he's like, I would have been sleeping. I don't know why I'm on. And it's like, it's such a surprising thing. Pyra laughs. She's like, oh, Sage.
Yeah. And it's hard to get Pyra to laugh because she's very straight face.
Yeah. People, when people aren't playing as Sage, they think Sage is a jerk. When you play as Sage, you realize Sage isn't actually a jerk per se, but Sage has a bit of a tough exterior and a high level sarcasm.
I know there's something I can get in Atlas's room as Sage. Because I've done it before. There it is. The essence potion.
Because Atlas, this wasn't intentional. I think when I was first creating the characters, I just started creating some personality quirks like Atlas is dirty and just a huge mess. And Pyra's clean and takes care of plants really well. And Sage is like non-existent. There's nothing in Sage's room because Sage is so protective of their stuff.
Hey, Kenny Roy. Thank you. You DM'd us on Twitter. We'll have to check. Sorry, we are super busy right now, and like we have like a billion emails to go through, and
Yeah.
we haven't even we haven't even scratched the surface. So sorry, you know, if you guys DM us somewhere, it's really tough. But we are on Discord. Do you have our social? I guess we have a link to our socials
We have
on Twitch.
Yeah, we have socials.
Yeah, so if you guys want to go to our Discord, that's kind of become our home base. We reply to people as much as we can everywhere else, of course, like especially on the Steam forums. But the Discord, we actually have a support channel on now, so you guys can leave bug reports, give us feedback, all that good stuff. So it's really great.
Yeah, that is the best place because we are always on Discord. Any other place we check, we do try to check periodically, but we don't check it quite as well.
Right.
Oh, I spelled link wrong in my little
Oh, did you?
It was LIN. That's what I just stopped. KS wasn't important. So speaking of what we've been doing, why have we been so busy? Well, we just released our update 1.1.14.
Yeah, 1.4. 1.1.14.
Which includes. Where did you put the actual updates then? You didn't put in the announcement sections?
I was pretty sure I did.
Oh, because it'd be on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Again, apologize for my voice. Somehow it just went out. Like it just turned off for some reason. My voice just stopped working well. Anyway, let's talk about what we've been working on. So, a majority of what we did over the weekend was to correct a bunch of issues. Mm-hmm. Some of these were known issues prior to launch. Some of these were issues the lovely community found and told us about a number of times, or things that we've seen by watching people stream. I mean, what being a developer is all about. So, if you go into our Steam page, you'll get to read through this. I don't think I need to read it to everybody, but I'll talk a little bit about kind of if I can find the Twitch chat. So we have a number of things that we've patched. These are things like transfer issues between maps, which what we've discovered is there's certain challenges we've had because we're using an engine underneath the hood that we've heavily modified, and there are some state management issues where you die and we load a save, but some ordering of the code caused some scripts to stop working, so I just had to fix those. You know, there's little things like the shops not having the right sale price or the wrong color. Those are all fixed. There are just some, you know, small interaction issues or things that people walk through. Those are all fixed. Or like you show up into a map and it seems to fade in really fast. You see things that you shouldn't see, like a little monster that disappears. That's just, you know, it's more of a timing issue on how the fading in system works. We also made some changes in battle. There was one, I would call one of the bigger things was, in battle, when you get paralyzed, it uses a randomization where you can almost be paralyzed forever if it never hits the threshold to unparalyze.
It's so funny. The first time I noticed that, somebody was streaming, and the guy was like, he was just sitting there like, and then the longer and longer it lasted, he was nodding, and then he just started smiling because it started lasting too long, and I was like, yeah, that might be a bug. That's the first time I noticed it.
Well, interestingly enough, it's actually part of Smile Game Builder's code. So
oh, that's funny.
It is
so
their engine.
They expect you to like recover yourself somehow, I guess.
Well, fundamentally the issue is it uses a random number generator. It uses it so like if the RNG is just in the most unlucky state, you'll never recover.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It's a 30% recovery rate, and you know, statistics say that you may not always hit that level. you might still be the 70% for a long time. So we've changed that. Now, what happens every time it tries to do a recovery roll, it increases the chance that it'll work the next time. So usually it will only last a couple rounds now. You know, 2 to 3 rounds is our goal. That's roughly what
Oh, look, it's our
Ugly facing Tim.
it's our celebrity.
That's a last edition. You know, like a couple of weeks prior to launch, and Grass is like, "Look what I did." You need to move the screen. There's like a black line.
Oh, oops.
There's Streamlabs.
The layers are kind of hard to select sometimes. There we go.
Yeah, so now you like do that. Okay. So another thing that's been a really annoying and nasty bug. You go to the test day battle with Dolian, and you last to a certain level, and then you go to get your reward from him later, and he's like, "You lasted to round 0." Some people have even defeated Dolian, and they're like, "I beat Dolian," which you shouldn't do, but that's another problem. And yet Dolian said I didn't last. That has been a very, very nasty bug, and that goes back to some of the save state stuff and the way Smile Game Builder builds up its maps and the fact that I've heavily modified it. But I finally fixed that today, and it has been deployed, or actually last night, and it's been deployed today. So it should work. If anyone is curious, if you like to think about testing, it only happened when you went to Dolian on the training day and did the training battle first. Then it put the battle system in a weird state, so that when the test day battle happened in the same map, it caused that issue. Otherwise, it would have worked normally. That's why it seemed to be working and not working intermittently. There's also an issue that Equinox, I don't know if Equinox is here, but they mentioned in the Nautilus Forest after the shifting happened, you couldn't save, which people ask, why do we disable save? Well, there's a lot of places in which if you save during a cinematic sequence, it'll break the sequence. You'll come back after something was mid-processing. And so we had to disable it, and something with the code didn't properly re-enable it. So that should be re-enabled, and I believe Drass also set up the map so that even with your current saves, it'll fix it.
Should. Fingers crossed.
It should fix it. And you said, you also fixed the camp blocking, right? So
I think so, yeah.
We think this one will be fixed. This is another nasty bug. Essentially, when you get farther in the early access version, there's like a camp scene, and when you come out of camp scene, you can't move. And the only way you can sort of undo it is by opening up the world map and then coming back. We think we found out the core cause and have that fixed. But if anyone had that issue and you want to test around in that area again, please let us know. We're fairly certain it's fixed, but I think do we not have this in here? There's a very, very recent issue where people would not be able to leave maps. That happened from I talked about.
Oh, I thought I added that at the bottom.
I don't see it in here.
Okay, maybe I didn't. I thought I had.
Did you say campsite bug, like the screen turning black? No, it's when you come back from camping and your character won't move. There's still some known issues out there, which you guys can check out the known issues list. We are working on them. We are trying to hammer those out as we go. So we'll keep an eye out and continue to tweak them. Well, let's talk about what's next. Again, I apologize. My voice doesn't like me right now. We have a roadmap that we planned prior to launch, and maybe a lot of optimism that there wouldn't be quite as many bugs. Some really key things that people have asked about in battle, that we always wanted to do, is adding a health bar for monsters and tying that into a bestiary. It's called bestiary, right? Not bestiary. It's spelled B-E-S-T, bestiary.
You could say bestiary. I'm sure that's fine.
Anyway, adding essentially a catalog of the monsters that you encounter throughout the game. Now, again, going back to the difference between me and Drass, I don't want to just give that away for free, and that I don't want people to just have the bestiary immediately. Build it up over time. Right. And I don't want to give health bars until you've at least encountered the monster one time. So we finally got alignment on that, I think.
Oh yeah.
We will effectively, when you interact with a monster in battle, you'll get to know what their health bar is. I played with the idea that you have to fight them a certain number of times, but we're just going to say, look, If you fight a monster and you beat them, you know their health. And from that point on, you'll see their health. Otherwise, you'll probably see like a question mark. And then other things like if you use something that is their weakness or that they're strong against, that will also enhance the bestiary. So it'll encourage you as a player to try using different skills to find out what strengths and weaknesses are over time. And that bestiary will be persistent. So you play the game one time, it'll stay throughout all of your saves. It's not like you have to keep rebuilding it for every save file.
Right.
That's a really key thing. We still want to work on it this month, but it just depends on some of the items on our list. We will continue to work on, of course, quality life improvements as we've been getting feedback. One major thing that came up that we've heard consistently enough we want to address is that Pyra's quest is not fun for some people. Pyra's quest is meant to be not fun for Pyra, but yes, sorry, I'll answer that question in a second. It's meant not to be fun for Pyra, but it turns out it's also not fun for the player because you as the player is the analog for Pyra. So, or maybe Pyra's analog for you. So we're going to be doing some things to make that a little bit less unfun. I know someone on Steam was like, "Why is everyone so mean to me?" Well, there is a foundational reason. Pyra, being the prize student, the one that always gets top marks, the one that leads the group, she does come off sometimes as a bit bossy and arrogant. Maybe I shouldn't use the word bossy, but she comes off to people in a way that is somewhat off-putting. Not because she's trying to be mean, but because she's very directed. Like, I'm just goal-driven and oriented. And so the people that she gets assigned to are the people who she hasn't, that they haven't really liked her, that attitude. Probably because they're jealous, right? I mean, the mayor doesn't like Dolian, and by extension doesn't like Pyra. Clay is, Clay, what does Clay do, right? He sits in the house and yells at people. So, the whole point of that is supposed to be this kind of humbling experience for Pyra. But unfortunately, that doesn't always read that way. Like, why are you just being mean to me? What the heck? It's not meant to be any sort of narrative about gender or otherwise. It's really just how the things came together with Pyra being the leader of the group. But we are going to tone down some of the language and maybe
It's bacon.
What's
Sorry.
shaking, bacon?
It's shaking.
That's a big thing that we're going to do some tweaks. We got some good ideas for that. We're going to make it a little bit less meaningful of a series as well. Burning, you asked about Questlog. Yes, that's also on our list. I'm not sure if it's on the list for July or August yet. It depends on how things continue to go. But we do want to make sure people have a way to look at what the quests are without having to go to the map. Some of this also ties into, we have a UI for the main menu that is improved. However, those that played the demo, the new release demo, know we had some issues with UI, and so we elected not to turn on this new menu in favor of making sure everything else feels stable and solid. So we will likely re-enable it and fix the issues we know of and put it into the beta branch in the future so people can try it out.
Yeah.
Iterate it. Once we have that menu, adding things like Questlog becomes easier because now we can easily add the menu.
Yep.
Hello, no tangle. Other things that we have, and I don't, given where we are in the month, I don't think it'll happen in July, but we do want to make controls configurable. We can tailor the to their needs. We do want to take the world map and enhance it so you can actually travel on it, walk on the world map to shortcut certain things. It won't be every area, but imagine that in some of the plains area is something that you could conceivably walk on, so you don't have to go through the whole area to get to the game.
Right.
A number of those things are on our list.
Bunny Stick, how dare you? I'm just kidding. Thanks
I
for the
don't know
follow.
why I wasn't following. Well, thank you for the follow, Bunny Stick.
How are you, Bunny Stick? Good to see you.
Other things,
dies from shame. Don't die from shame.
Other things that are on our list, we really want to make sure that the echo shift mechanic is more properly explained in a way that makes sense. Right now, you go talk to a node, and then you're presented with like a save load system. It's not really clear that you're being encouraged to go and play as another character find unlocks and sequence. It also doesn't tie you properly to the new death sequence. Because if you guys have noticed, once you die, if you've touched the Echo Shift node, you are actually taken to a zone that you recover from. There's more that's going to happen with that area. For now, it's just pretty much a blank, empty space. But we will introduce you to that as part of first activating the Echo Shift node. And we'll use that as the lever to explain what it's about. We have some really interesting things planned, which you can see with early access once we get to that. What else do I? What else do we have? Is there more on our list there for the near-term goals? Outside of bug fixes, more bug fixes, ongoing bug fixes.
I don't have the list in front of me.
So yeah, I mean,
there she goes.
There are more things planned. Some of these things are like the final bits of the main functionality of the game. Battle system rework is definitely on the list, which will be adding enhancements to how battles work and adding more features. Drass is going to be looking into adding some more items and equipment.
I'm gonna address this on the reason she runs so fast when you end that quest is just for comical purposes, because she's this little old lady.
Yes, and if you know, spoiler alert, which you don't have the spoiler thing up there, but the reward she gives you is a speed belt.
Mm-hmm.
The joke with Sage is normally a jerk. So if you go talk to her and you're a jerk, she is so slow.
Yep.
She walks very slow on her journey. But if you're really nice and you choose all the answers that look like you're trying to be as nice as you can, she walks faster. There's actually one step above her speed right now that she goes, but she goes so fast you can't even like control your player. So you just get dragged along. And I'm kind of toying with the notion of making like one discrete set of options where you can get that, because it makes that quest go by really fast, which I had to use for testing. What we got in chat here? The lady has quilts to knit. All right, no worries, I'm trying to break it. Oh no, don't break it. Okay, you seemed more of a natural speed. Have you guys adjusted anything there? No, it changes. Your speed changes based upon how you talk to her. I like the one guy in town from the upper left that's like, "What are you doing in my house?" Yes, play. There is some consternation from play for certain people, but play is supposed to be kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
In my game, she moves way faster. Yes, she can go faster or slower depending on how you talk. Bring the net, be a chat. Also, when I visited her house, she didn't tell me about the chest having something. Did you wait for her? You have to wait for her after the cemetery. If you don't wait for her, she doesn't leave the extra gap. I was talking to the screen telling him that it's the hero tax, deal with it or pay me a proper fee. Casting, exactly. And he starts complaining about like, what do you think is a fantasy world where you can just go into someone's house and investigate everything?
Oh yeah.
I have the same alarm sound. Drash freaks me out in the morning.
Oh, the alarm sound, yeah, from my phone. Yeah, it probably came through the microphone. My bad. I forgot I had that alarm on. Completely forgot. So, blue gem removed. Well, how dare you take my gem? You told me to find it, and now I have to give it to you. It's just rude. It's just rude, Dolian. I want that gem.
Speaking of things like issues and roadmap and bug fixes, guys, I don't know who we all have. If you're just tuning in, you can check out our links to see how to get a hold of us. Discord is the #1 best way. If you want to talk to us about issues, go to Discord. Send us a note. We have a support forum where you can submit bugs and suggestions, and we endeavor to keep that updated as much as possible. So check that out. There's plenty of other links there for you to try. If you have purchased a game and you have not left a review, please do so. Reviews actually really significantly help the game and the algorithm, and we want this to get this in front of many people as I waited for her. When she runs fast for comedic purposes, she zoomed away faster than what I saw on stream just now. She told me to visit her at her house. But oh, so you did that and you still didn't get the reward? That's weird. Were you loading a save or did you start from scratch? Was it recently or was it in the past? Because the last patch we did at the beginning of the weekend was when we fixed it.
Yeah, we fixed a lot of issues with Old Ski on that patch.
There were a lot of issues. There were a lot of interesting, like, underlying state issues and sequencing issues that I had to, like, dig in. That's my excuse for how I can ransack people's homes. They're not paying proper wage to save the world, kingdom, whatever. So it's a hero tax. I get to come in.
I'm just laughing at this because I just found a bug.
What happened?
When you talk to Clay, it says nothing interesting here. It was after I talked to the diary and put it back. So that's something.
Okay, I'll go put a ticket in, I guess.
It's always something, man. It's always something. I'm going to sit on a bench and think about my life decisions. Maybe Ugly Facington can join us real quick.
I really wanted something where, like, if you sit long enough, something happens. But the biggest challenge with a game like this is there's so much interaction. There's so many different things you can do and people you can talk to. It makes it extremely challenging to catch all the different little things that can go on. I can see why it's much easier to make a game that has linear dialogue, because then you don't have to, like, consider the variations that can happen to cause problems. Although I prefer it this way, it's just a bit more painful. Probably previous patch, I did get the treasure from the chest. I just didn't get the message from Polson. Oh, okay.
Interesting. Oops.
Also had nothing interesting, but with Clay, but I thought it was, yeah, Clay is nothing interesting. After you're looking at my diary, nothing interesting. Now we know what you're about.
Oh, yeah, touch on reviews again, because Bunny Stick's asking about that specifically.
Does it help to have a review at all, or do reviews by people who played the game do better? I don't think you can review it.
Yeah, you have to purchase the game before you can review. Or have a copy of it, rather.
It is reviews from people who purchased the game and didn't receive it for free are better.
Yes.
The ones that were given keys, the reviews don't count toward the overall number of reviews.
But if you have playtime, it does add a bit of value to your review as well.
Right.
As far as
time is better.
Yeah.
So same thing for, like, interactions with reviews and so on. People interacting with them and stuff. I forgot to say in the roadmap, I want to call this out because I started looking at it today. One request we've had is cross-platform saves. So that is something that's on our list. I just started looking at how that works in cloud saves for Steam. It's actually not too hard, except our files are split between 3 characters, and some of them have the same name. So I have to figure out how to do the transition to the cloud system without breaking. I still play. Yeah, just leave it open, right? I think it'll count it. Go to bed, leave it open overnight.
That's why I have so many hours in RPG Maker. It's not because I made a bunch of games. It was because I just left it open all the time.
Hey, you know what? That's legit. So yeah, reviews are important, and I think the threshold is 10 reviews from people who've actually purchased the game. Supposedly starts helping the algorithms out. I don't know otherwise. Obviously, more is even better. The more you get, the better it is.
I'm having a good slime.
Someone asked about the language when you can talk to the slimes. And it's all made up, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like after that, I'm going to have to, like, figure out a way to make a skill language.
Just roll with it. Blurp, blurp.
Let's roll, blurp, blurps.
Blurp.
Blurp, blurp, blurpy.
I'm going to purposefully do it wrong. You have a hint now.
Wait, where's the other slime at?
There's only one on that scene, and then it's 2 during the battle.
No, there were 2 in the scene.
No, there was never 2 in the scene.
Yes, there were.
Oh.
Because I had to move both of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, there wasn't. It's not a bug.
For some reason I don't remember there being two. Maybe because when I first set up the scene there was only one.
Nope, you set it up with two. There's two slimes and you knock one out of the way so they can get away. I know. I mean, I scripted the freaking. I know.
Wee.
I'm gonna get my hubby to play the game too. He loves these kind of games. Well, yeah.
Yay.
I'd love to hear how he feels about it. I will do a review after I try early access, so it shows playtimes and all the other playtime. Your demo will transfer to the early access.
Yes.
Early access also has a little feature where if you don't want to go play through all the other three characters to get to a point, you can just start as at the end of the demo section. Your demo save will transfer full game. You can continue where you left off.
I think the Steam playtime is separate from the game playtime. So when you launch the early access, it may show lower playtime just because of that fact. Steam tracks it differently than the in-game time.
No Tango says, I've played a bunch of other retro-inspired indie RPG demos lately. The music and sound on Alterium Shift really stands out.
Oh.
We've tried really hard, to get that to happen. We've wanted Jonathan Shaw for our music since near the beginning of the project. And
since the moment I started using their music in our game, or his music in our game.
Yeah. I had I remember sending him an email way early when we were still just after we launched our demo, and he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm in a project right now, but we can follow up and talking rates." I'm like, I can't afford, I'm not gonna talk about numbers, but being indie devs and doing all this work on the side, pricing was a challenge to figure out. So that's why we have a publisher that's helping.
Yep.
We're really glad we can get him. Yeah, you're talking about the Steam list playtime, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to be inspired to make more Alterium Shift fan art. The game is just that dang good, and I was inspired after playing the early alpha. Well, I hope, Bunny Stick, I hope that when you play this version, you will appreciate some of the changes.
I see something that's not supposed to be here. That's funny.
What? She's just having a good time.
Yeah, she's just chilling out. That's fine. She can exist there and in her house at the same time. It's not a problem with that.
Very fast.
She's like the Flash. Zip.
Oh, good job doing QA while we're trying to stream this so people can, be encouraged to buy the game.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean to. I was just playing. I'm just playing the game, man.
I think we're gonna make it lore. Because I've had a typo in some of my words where I leave the D out. It's old ski versus old ski. So maybe she's got a twin.
I want to show people what happens when you sit. Yeah, let's sit. I'm just going to chill while the guard runs off to do whatever.
Actually, I think I can go fix old ski now. I think I know exactly
Woo! I really need it. Wait, why are you sitting? I really expected more from you. Whatever. Actually, I feel like they might say something differently for Sage.
Yeah, I don't think I
think we should.
I didn't expect much from you at all. So
this is exactly what I expected from you. 100 gold. Yeah. So if you actually stand ready, you get more money. Oh, don't worry about it, Cheeky. He had something really important to do, though. I mean, everybody has important things to do when they're just standing there hours on end. There's always a need for something.
Says he, what do you mean? She can't go on a stroll occasionally? Yeah.
You're not supposed to be here. I'm just out for a walk. That would
I feel
be
like
funny.
the guard is pretty judgy of a youth who can run through the countryside for ages while they stand around. Get good guard.
Get good guard.
That's very fast.
Okay, hold on. I forgot what I was gonna do, but I was gonna do something.
I know what's going on with Mottzy for sure. I know exactly what's going on. I changed the state that makes her show up. I changed the number of the state.
There once was a young lady named Bright, whose speed was much faster than light. She set out one day in a relative way and returned on the previous night.
Maybe that's Oldski. She's B Oldski.
Be Oldski.
Right?
It's a song. I get
It's
it.
lore. Done. It's part of the lore now.
That's good. That's good. Beverly Oldski. Or no, Bright
Oldski.
Bright Oldski.
But you don't. It's just B. Oldski. We just got to make.
Oh yeah, the door's locked after you go down into the well. Well, wait, that's not supposed to be right.
What? Are you doing the quest for Dolan?
Yeah, he should still be in there. That's weird.
How do you keep
I think we
breaking
need to
things,
look into
Trav?
that.
Oh my gosh. You keep
I'm
breaking
sorry,
things.
dude. I'm just playing the game.
So on our roadmap is going to be all these bugs.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? This is part of early access. You know, with the help of everybody, we've been able to fix a lot of things. But you know, when you fix something, sometimes you break something, right? It's just the way it goes. And yeah, thank you guys. I don't know if we said this early on, but anybody here who has helped us find bugs like Shorty and lasers, yeah, Cheeky, you guys, awesome. Thank you so much. It helps us a lot.
You guys, awesome. We were.
You guys,
no grammar.
awesome.
Grammar not important. Just work.
Shh. Leave me alone.
Just
Oh my
leave
gosh.
me
I want these
alone.
slimes to leave me alone. They're pretty mean. Charging up power. I'm gonna definitely guard. Oh,
No, I don't
jeez.
find them. I stumbled across them. Yes, that's unfortunate.
I'm gonna
problem-
heal now.
The problem, of course, is that you could have somebody who's really interested in the game,
Mhm.
and they'll get immediately turned off to some of these bugs. They don't. They're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, I just paid for this, and now I'm having these bugs.
Right.
Obviously, that kind of kills us a little bit inside. You want everyone to love the game, but only so much you could do at some point. As it goes.
That's how it goes sometimes. Oh, I should have guarded. 'Cause they're gonna hurt me. They do a lot of damage. They're weak to lightning, just so you guys know. Little spoiler alert there. Da-da-da. Okay. Let's just do a heal.
What we got here? Hold on. Played another game recently. Been blind for any bug. Get tons of bug reports. I don't know, just like cakewalk through, but simply being blind.
Right.
Not sure if I mentioned it, but I figured out why I couldn't save Sage in the forest. Since I skipped the tent thing by going back to the first of all, I was stuck on that. I can't save state. You're talking about in the shifted zone, Nautimus Forest? No Tango? I assume that's what you're talking about, just to confirm.
Was it Sage or was that Atlas? That sounds like maybe Atlas's playthrough. Say, unless that was you're talking about in Nautimus Forest.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. No, Nautimus Forest's issue was that we didn't re-enable save after the cinematic sequence.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna verify that though during our playthrough.
Yes, it should be working now.
Okay, I think I'm nearly done. I'm gonna go level up one more time though.
Level up.
Let me see. Status. I can see where I am. Oh, I just need to fight one more enemy. Yeah, we're good. I just want to have thunder so it's easier to get through the caves.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning
Magic.
and sun.
Monsters
oh,
don't level
man.
along, right? Yeah, right. So you can keep grinding on the low level monsters if you want. And a lot of them respawn if you leave the map. It depends on how you leave the map sometimes, but yes, they'll respawn.
Yes. Don't know if you remember that I fought the boss in the cave with Sage alone without Dolian. Yes, I think we fixed that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I fixed that.
Because that was because you could get through the door, and I think Drass fixed that earlier on. One of the patches we did shortly after launch.
Fingers crossed.
I like that the monsters don't level with you. Yeah, you know, I've played, not Elden Ring. What was before that? Oblivion. Oblivion was my first experience with a game in which the monsters leveled with you, and that made zero sense to me. It's like, what's the point in leveling up then? Why do I need to get stronger if the monsters will always be at my level or like just below it?
Right, right.
It was like the weirdest, absurd mechanic I'd ever seen. And I know that they still use it, so some people must like it. But for me, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. In fact, what I learned was you can level up without having the monsters do it as long as you don't sleep. So I just never slept in bed. I would just heal myself, and then I would get strong enough that I could overpower them. But it's just the silliest thing ever to me. Yeah, you can come back in the future and have revenge, although they'll probably run away from you. I've been playing an unhealthy amount of Diablo 4, and it's a bummer to never feel how powerful you are. Yeah, right? Like, I don't get why that's a mechanic. I just don't understand it. I mean, conceptually, I understand why people might do that, but I don't know why that makes the game fun.
Right. Ah! Bats! Kill him! Oh, so close. Attack. Oh, really? You're gonna miss? Oh, that's fine. Oh, I missed again. That's some bad RNG right there. Wee! Hiya. I best just stick to magic. The bats are too fast. Oh, did I ever equip the speed belt? I bet I didn't. In fact, I probably didn't upgrade any of my gear.
Yeah, we tend to forget to do that, don't we?
Let's see here. Equip.
Leather all the leveling does in those games is give you more attacks. Yeah.
Lucky bracelet. There we go. That should help.
Well, I gotta back up and read some of this I missed in the chat.
Yep.
Might be a bit of spoiler, but I'm curious, are there other spots Sage can sleep with their bed? We are working on that. We've heard the feedback. So camps were supposed to be the place that you recovered, but some people want things like not stream. What is it? A spring.
Yeah.
Like a healing spring or something. We are going to make it so the Echo Shift notes provide healing without camping. So that's where you'll be able to get healed. So that's probably what we're going to use as our non-camping mechanic. Is the Echo Shift.
Woo! Here we go. Oh, I thought it was supposed to level.
Okay, and then Bunny says, don't get me wrong, I love Diablo mostly because I can play with the hubby, but the game definitely overstays small. Cassie, yes, it's so annoying in Diablo 4. I want to feel stronger, but at level 73, the strongest I felt was at like 1. Sleep under a tree to recover? Yeah, because Sage likes to sleep everywhere. It could be Sage's special ability that they can sleep, as long as there's no monster, they can just sleep anywhere.
They can just sleep anywhere. Take a nap? Yes. Yes, please.
Nappy McNapperson.
Mappy? Nappy?
Nappy?
Nappy. There we go. Aw, yeah, we got that red gem, yo. Let's go put it in the thing over here. On the way to the red thingy. There it is. All right. Look at that door go down.
There you go.
We got it. Should be an achievement far in the future. Sage slept a total of 100 hours.
Mhm.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Mottzy to do something like that.
I mean, they're all ideas. Hello, Killboy Gaming. How are you? Welcome. Hey,
Killboy,
Killboy Gaming.
how are you? Killboy, shout out to Killboy. That guy is a major supporter of ours.
Yes. Major.
Major.
Majority.
Major. Shout out to the Killboys. Or the singular Killboy. The Killboy.
He has like, so some people like leave Sage sleeping and then they'll leave the computer open.
Just leave it.
Maybe I'll do something that if you make Sage sleep long enough, something happens.
Right. Well, it's like old games when you would like lay down the controller and then the like characters would get bored on screen.
I wanted to do that with these characters, but Drass told me no.
I like for now, but it's not something I was totally against.
He told me no because he's like, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I didn't have time for it.
Basically what he said, like, you gotta get stuff done. No, don't do that. In the meantime,
It'll be a nice feature to add later. Be one of those Easter eggs, you know, like we are fans of the Easter eggs for show. I was looking at this game on Steam and telling my friend about it. Oh, thank you, Kessire,
Ray, probably.
Kessire.
Oh, hello.
Welcome. Sorry.
Yeah. Have you had a chance to play the demo?
Do, 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 do. Bum, 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 bum. We got it. Okay, where do I go from here? Oh, there's a treasure chest. That is the coolest thing about Sage's skill. Just being able to find things, even things that I don't remember placing forever ago. Oh shoot.
Pretty fun, Ray. Yes, that's how you say it. Easter eggs are the most nutritional type of eggs. I have not, but I'm liking the art direction. It reminds me of old school Grandia.
Old school Grandia. Oh yes.
Grandia.
Or Grandia.
Final Fantasy, Breath of Fire, Demana. They're a lot of those games had this very similar.
Grandia really captured me back in the day. I find it really hard to get into now. I don't know what it is. Probably just because I don't have time. Because I always wanted to go back and play it because I only played up into the point where you get into the bigger world. And that part of the game was epic because they had those epic anime cutscenes where you're just like, oh, this is cool. But yeah, Grandia was cool. I wanna get back into it. Maybe does the Grandia HD version have like a speed up thing for different things? Their battle system's not as slow as like a turn-based battle system, I guess, though. A typical one. Have to flee. Don't flee.
You get to talk by just type.
Need to poke a few more things and then sleep. Okay. It's okay. Sleep is good. I probably should get more sleep myself at some point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you're going to turn into Sage, huh?
One of these days, I will turn into Sage and sleep all day long. Oh, this reminds me a lot of Golden Sun. Yeah, Golden Sun is one that we get compared to a lot, which is funny. I've never played Golden Sun, but Mottzy says he played it a while back on the GBA.
I did, yeah. I played it, and I really liked it, except for the fact that it didn't have any real sound conclusion. I was very disappointed by the ending. Definitely was not what I was hoping.
600 gold? I could go shopping.
The game was like set up like there's these different so many different places you're gonna go, and you get to like the second one or something, and so it's done.
All right, we're gonna get some developer tips here. You can you can ask Dolian to join your party early. So I come up to him and talk to him. You can ask him for some help. And he will join your party early. Oh, we should turn on the follower thing. Oh, that's fine.
The follower thing?
He didn't start following you around after he got into your party. But that's probably something before we started adding that in.
How did you two hook up to make the game? Already friends before, or just started looking around? And then the next thing is, I love RPGs that have replay value, extra storylines. This has a lot of it. In fact, once we get through this section, we'll talk again about the echo shift mechanic, which encourages replay. Every character has their own experience, so even though they start in the same place, it's unique. It does down the road converge. So there's portions of story where you're in the same place as all the other characters would be, but still the characters have their own experience in those areas.
Yep.
So going back to how do we hook up? Let's see. Right at the beginning of 2020, right before the pandemic kicked off, I was starting to get into game dev. I work full time as a chief technology officer at a startup company, but I always wanted to be a game dev. And so I decided I would start doing it. I'd start like making videos and then eventually streaming. And I found Smile Game Builder. Unity, despite my years of experience coding, development in the web space is different from game dev. And Unity is a lot to learn. And I didn't want to invest a lot of mental space to learning it. So I got Smile Game Builder as a way to kind of get my feet wet. And in the process of doing that, I met Drass just from the Discord. And over the course of time of posting things and watching him stream, I think I watched his stream and I got some advice on what I need to do or how to do certain things for streaming. We just kind of knew each other. And one day, Drass is like, hey, you want to do a game jam? And of course I was like, I'm doing my own thing. But then we decided to do a game jam, and it was just a really good working relationship. I learned Unity during the game jam to do this game. He did all the art. And it was a very easy experience for us to build this game. We had good ideas. We shared similar ideas. And where I didn't know what to do things, he'd be like, oh yeah, here, we'll just do this. Or vice versa. If I'm like, well, we should do this. And we would kind of mesh up and create a good game. In fact, the first game we made had multiple endings, which I thought was pretty neat. And so we knew of each other then. We had worked with each other. And then Drass suckered me into working with him on a project by showing me this amazing art style and just hammering me every single day with updates until I finally said, let's make a game together.
Hammering. Like you were like so like not into it.
I was like, leave me alone, stop forcing me to look at this.
Not like you were like totally like trying to come up with your own ideas for my game at the time, for my little, it was my like proof of concept, because I was like, I want to use these art assets to make this game. But I was like, I found them and I was like, but I can make them 3D. So I was like, I put them in this 3D engine and made all the objects and everything, textured them with these pixel art graphics by Celio the Shaper, and put them in Smile Game Builder. And I was just like every day just showing Mottzy like, hey, check this out. And Mottzy at one point, you didn't want to join me, but you wanted to, or maybe you did want to join me, but you like started buying more of the asset packs like for me. And I was like, stop buying these for me. I told him to stop because
what I thought was, I'm not going to be part of this thing because I don't have time and I really don't want to do Smile Game Builder again. I did not want to get into that because it's a pain in the butt. And I have my own thing. I'm doing voxel art and game dev. And then I was like, but it's Christmas time, so what I'll do is I'll just buy him all those asset packs because he's doing really amazing work. Here you go, have fun with it. And then he came back after I gave those to him, and he showed me some other things. I'm like, wow, this is really amazing. So I jump on a call, I was like, we should make something together.
Yeah, it was fun.
Was it over text I said we should do it together, or was it on a call? I feel like it was a call where I'm like, no, we should do this.
I think it was a combination of things. We started talking about doing it, and then also like had calls, right? So let's just do water. Water. earth, fire, wind, heart.
Captain DrassRay, he's my hero. Sorry for my raspy voice.
I have to admit, this type of any type of coding is way over my head and makes my eyes spin. Glad game devs can figure out, so I have stuff to play. Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is the engine we started using doesn't. I mean, it has coding, but it's like very rudimentary type of coding where you like, it's basically like command script. Like you just say, oh, I want the player to walk, so you give it a walk command and it'll walk, right? That's oversimplifying it, but at the same time, like it's one of those engines that claim, you know, anybody can do it. It's like RPG Maker. Okay, so so even that's not for everybody.
Right. And there are limitations. There are a lot of limitations to what you can do with it. And but luckily, I know how to code. So basically, they have an export to Unity, and I slowly over time made it so we can do all of our work in Unity. Which is basically where we're at now. Outside of Drass doing updates to the maps and stuff, it pretty much all happens.
I'm not sure if you're loud enough. I'm starting to.
Am I not loud enough?
Yeah, you might not be.
With my voice being bad too.
Yeah, it's probably not helping. I'm gonna pop onto Discord real quick and pull your audio up. Yep.
Turn the Mottzy up.
User volume up. Now talk.
Now I'm talking.
That's better. That's better.
Is me. I am talking.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I just felt you were like quieter than me, so just wanted to.
Well, it's because I'm soft-spoken, unlike you.
Oh, so I'm just a loudmouth.
I didn't say loudmouth. You said it.
You said it.
Your words, not mine.
How do you call somebody a loudmouth without calling them a loudmouth?
You say, hey, DrassRay. This is you.
This is you. You could try RPG in a box. Yeah, totally. I don't think Mottzy's ever tried that one.
Yeah, it seems interesting, though.
Took the exit for granted, eh?
Oh, snap.
Oh, that was.
You want to show your new interactions you added? Because you just. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you can add them, right?
What?
You can go show your interactions that you added when you try to leave.
Oh, yeah, I did. That's hilarious. I forgot I did that already.
You already forgot.
I already forgot. So if you try to leave now, you can't leave. So this was a bug. You could like walk right through the rock. Now you can talk to it. The path is rocked. It won't budge. Solid. It's a hard rock life when you're stuck. Are you laughing yet? I'm laughing on the inside.
The way you have this set up is like the Ugly Facington is narrating.
That's funny. Yeah. Ugly Facington is talking here.
It's all Ugly Facington. The whole game narrated by Ugly Facington.
I want to get somebody who sounds like that has a British accent. We should just get our composer to voice Ugly Facington for us, and that would be hilarious. Because I feel like Ugly Facington. No, I'm not calling British people ugly. I feel like he would have a British accent. Okay.
Probably.
Dolian
like
is waiting. Right. Dolian is waiting. It's a rocky situation. Okay, I'm done. All right. I know you're not one for ceremony, so take this. We're at the climax of Sage's first act here. I did not fully expect that. I wouldn't either. What? That emulant hasn't worked for me since I sealed off portals like this one above. I think that might supposed to be normally. Normally, it can only be recharged at a shift node. Perhaps it's your dark elf heritage. Oh, wow. Okay, so I've never actually chosen this path of dialogue. Yes. Even with all your intelligence, you still never figured that out. You're not fully a dark elf, which is why you appear mostly human. Spoiler alert! However, your powers in magic are stronger than any human. Didn't you ever wonder why people inherently disliked you? No, they were definitely jealous. What is this? A daytime stream? Yeah, we're daytime streamers now.
Yep.
We're going to be daytime streaming every Sunday at 4 o'clock. I just locked us in.
Like sounds of it, like sands of an hourglass. These are the days of our streams.
These are the days of our streams. No, Sage. It was always fear. I'm going to give Dolian an English accent.
Okay. I like how someone gave the hermit, which is spoiler alert, a character you encounter,
Yeah.
a pirate accent, which I thought was the most hilarious thing.
Yeah.
How did you get pirate from that?
Only the Dark Elves ever had power to wield multiple elemental powers. I think we're a little redundant on our powers. Enough discussion. With the amulet activated, you should be able to activate that shift node. Give it a try. Oh, I'm going to give it a whirl. Can I leave now? Watch, I can leave now. Oh, shoot.
Can you leave now?
I didn't realize.
You didn't.
I didn't realize. I guess I didn't realize there was another state beyond the state that I used.
Dude, you should just make it large. Anything bigger than that state, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Here comes another bug, apparently.
Yeah, put it in there. Hey, look. This is good. This is good. How great. I'm not going to use that one. You think you know so much, and yet you've only scratched the surface. Enlighten me, Dolian. That is a shift portal, and it leads somewhere very dangerous. The amulet must do more. Indeed. Very perceptive of you. Let's discuss. Nah, I'm gonna be looking over here at something glowy. I'm gonna attack it. Hi-ya! Good work, Sage. You found a dark elf assassin. Now quickly, we need to...
Look at the glowy. It's so glowy. Look at all the glow.
Meow. Meow. I think it's because I was holding the glow button. It stopped.
Oh, you're still holding it? It's still going?
No. I think it was because when it started the scene, I was holding it. Maybe. I don't know.
All them going that far down. Like a double move.
Whee!
Hey, this is where you get to check if save works.
Oh, yeah. Save. I can save. Let's save in slot 20. Whee! I'm lost. I don't think this music's supposed to be playing like this right now, so I'm gonna have to figure that out.
What's happening with the music?
It was still playing the epic music after the shift.
Okay, more bugs. This is really, you're joining us on our QA quest.
Yeah. Hey, look, QA testing live with DrassRay Games and their own video game. What could go wrong? Apparently, a few things.
Everything, apparently.
No, these are not bad bugs. These are minor bugs.
I don't know how many times you can like play a sequence and still find bugs. It's
right. Okay, I can still save, so that's a good sign, right?
Yes, that means that you probably fixed the bug.
Yay, I fixed a bug. I'm a fixer of bugs. Just some minor radiation. Don't mind the glowy stuff. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's green. Oh, that doesn't help Sage, so I'll go ahead and turn it pink. Do we need to go over this one more time? The persistent save stuff for the people at home who don't know what it is.
Well, yes, because this is what we wanted to talk about.
Yep.
Right? We will be making a much better sequence to introduce this to people, but one of the mechanics of the game that we want to use to encourage replayability and also the option to get things like special equipment is echo shift. This node here will change color based on the character that talks to it, and elements in the world that have the same color will be affected by it. So if it's a door, it'll open. If it's a chest, it'll be unlocked. We have some ideas for other things we might introduce there as well. This is a persistent save system. So once you've changed it, it's changed for every single save in the game. It's not really even tied to saves, to be honest. It's a separate save system. So um, anyone who plays any save will see the purple or pink node from now on with save. And if you change it to green from Atlas, it becomes green. There's a lot of implications of this. It'll not only include changes to some minor things within towns or conversations with people in different places, or potentially different things you can get from chests or whatnot, but also bigger things like doors you can get access to or chests that you can get access to. This area is designed to be the tutorial area for it, so you'll notice that Sage unlocks the pink door or purple door, pinkish purple, but Sage can't get through the thing that has the pinkish purple spot. However, Atlas, is it Atlas who does this? Yep. Atlas can, because Atlas has the ability to open up the trigger to get through to the next spot.
Right. So, oh, it looks like I already triggered it with Atlas. Okay, with this save. But yeah, basically, there was a purple gate here, and when Sage activated his things, you saw it. It made this gate disappear, which would allow Atlas to use his skill to unlock the spikes here, which you shoot this this little thing here, this little. Oh, I'm glad you made that where we can see it now. Okay, here we go. It's empty because I already have it. I already used it too. So that must have been on the other stream. I must have saved in this slot on accident. That's okay. But now if I turn it green, let's do this. We can switch to Pyra. Let's see here. Do I have a save? I may have to just go. Yeah, I may not have a save here, so I'll just go to new game and skip to that point. Continue.
I've got the Pyra.
New game.
Why is this not?
Yes. So we'll skip to that point in the game. So now I'm here with Pyra. Node is still green because Atlas flipped the node. And now I'll come down here. And I can unlock this little rock. Boom. And we got a potion. So yeah, that doesn't only affect those green and the colored gates, but it also affects colored treasure chests that you find throughout the world. So you'll find green treasure chests, you'll find red treasure chests, and you'll find pink treasure chests. Wait, why did the blue chest close? If it's empty, the normal chest graphics show that it's empty. That might just be a graphical error, my friend. It probably just didn't stay open like it's supposed to. Like some state on it didn't make the graphics stay that way.
Did you read Zyber Knight's question?
Oh, no, I have not. Is there a possible...
I'll answer. Is there a possibility of having persistent tiered story where you have to play each character to be able to access some parts of the game in a plus or connecting world mode over just the separate character playthroughs? Mechanically, that's kind of what we're going for, is that there will be some puzzles that you need all three characters or two characters to get through. It won't be part of the main requirement because not everybody wants to do the Echo Shift. It is a core component, but it won't be required. So you could beat the game without ever using Echo Shift. However, if you want to beat the game, you'll likely have to use all three characters at some point.
Yeah.
And we do have ideas for things like full dungeons that require you to use the cross-saving shifting in order to get through them.
That doesn't... I think what he's asking, too, is like... Yeah, if there was a mode to have it required or something like that later on.
You get it where its own save. Yeah, that's what we've talked about, Zyber. We've
Yep.
talked a little bit about how what we're likely going to have is a couple of like the thing is, if you're playing the game for the first time, there's not going to be any saves for the other characters. So we've got some rules we're going to follow where if you pick one of the other characters and there are no auto saves, it will start the game new for that character. If you have an auto save but no Echo Shift save, it'll load the last auto save. If you use an Echo Shift at all, then that becomes the saved version that you'll go back to automatically.
Right.
We're still going to let people, I mean, you can still open up your save file and go wherever you want, but we do want to make it so it kind of stays within game. It doesn't pull you out of the game and say, here's your save
Right.
save lines.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think you're picking up on what we've considered doing.
Should get in a fight or two. Sneak up on that rat. Oh yeah, I think fire is more effective here. Fire! Getting scratched. These are monsters that I designed. I sometimes design my own monsters. Occasionally. Every now and then. Any possibility for post-end credit mini games that unlock per ending? I'm not sure about mini games, but we have things we're working on that will be specific to you finishing all 3 characters. So yeah, major spoiler warning. It's not really a spoiler. I mean, I feel like people will expect this, but with a game like this, with features with cross save, obviously we're gonna work towards having endings being affected by playing all of the storylines, right? If we didn't do that, we wouldn't be taking advantage of our own ideas, I feel like.
Right.
Wah! Fire!
Although credits for the full game are fairly far out, so we're not really prioritizing that as our focus.
Right.
I will say, what we do try to do in general terms is find as much interesting little things we can add to the game, add interest, and reward exploration. We do that as much as possible. And it might be a good time now to even talk about our game goals, right? Because there's a lot of stuff you can do with the game. Scope could be almost infinite, and we have to maintain some kind of scope. But one of the things that helps us expand the scope is the sales of the game, selling more copies. I don't know how often games are as public about their sales goals. I've seen plenty of YouTube videos where people reveal numbers, but this is an early access launch, so it's not a full launch. However, part of this is hitting some goals within early access to show some viability for some of the things we want to do within the game.
Right.
And so we talked about it at the front of this stream. We're now nearing the tail end of the stream, so I guess it's probably time to talk about it again, which is for the next 26 or so days from our launch. So 30-day launch window. We are trying to hit 5,000 unit sales, 5,000 copies sold. There are many reasons for that. Part of that's also helping the publisher recoup some of the funding they gave us. Just showing market viability and so on, which we think there's a lot of that there, but you never know. But we want to be transparent, so we want to let everybody know what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So far, I think we're getting close to the 1K copies sold goal, which is a good number, and we have rewards to go along the way for the community. Unlike a Kickstarter, we can't have a goal that certain people spend a certain amount and they get something back, right? You buy the game, you do or you don't, right? It's the number of copies.
Yep.
But as a whole, we'd like to make sure we show, hey, we are thankful for people's investment in the game, and we will invest as likewise for everybody else.
Right.
If you haven't been involved in our Discord and seen us working our butts off all weekend to try and fix bugs and make things work better, just know that we're constantly trying to tweak and improve this as we go.
Yeah.
And we will listen to feedback, and we will change fundamental things about the game if we realize it's not as good as it could be.
Right.
So 1K copies sold, obviously eternal gratitude, and we will release a desktop background for everyone to get if you so desire. 2.5K copies, we will take our developer guide, enhance it, and provide it to everybody. And as we go, we will enhance it as well. We enhance the game.
Mm-hmm.
5K copies sold, that's where we hit our magic number, and we will release a CRT effect, filter effect, and some settings so you can turn it on or off if you want. You want that old style classic feel. It looks really good. We've got a little sample of it. We'll finish that up and get it out there. In addition, we have some new key art coming, and we'll give it a desktop background for that too. I don't know why background becomes hard for my brain every single time. Beyond that is just like icing on the cake, right? 7.5 copies, 10K copies, 15, 25, and so on. There's a number of things we'd like to do. We'd like more music. Getting to a certain level justifies expanding the soundtrack. Getting even higher than that justifies investing even more into fishing or providing additional little options for your portraits. Doing things like a pet mechanic or a cooking mechanic or guaranteeing a physical release. Now, we decided we weren't going to release the entire list because you got to get there in measured stages. So if we're able to hit certain goals, we will communicate what we'll be providing with that. Ultimately, we don't want to just say, give us your money or buy our game. We want you guys to like it. We would love for people to enjoy it and give us feedback. It is an early access, which means there's bugs and it's not fully complete, which we're really appreciative of everyone who's willing to go on this journey. Also, Steam summer sale is almost over. I think we have 4 more days. Or so. Maybe 3.5 more days. This right now is the time to get the game at probably one of its lowest prices that it will have. Some people don't necessarily want to play early access, but if you want to just get the game so you have it for when it launches, this would be the best rate to buy it at, I'd say. Anything I missed there, Drass?
No, you're good. And 20% off right there. So, and if you can't or don't want to support an early access game, we also understand that. The additional metric that really helps us there is wishlisting the game. So if you wishlist it on Steam, that helps us just keep viability in the market. So even though we're partially released through early access, having a large wishlist count helps on our full release later on. And then also, what was I going to say? If you have bought a copy of the game, reviewing the game, I think we stand at 8 user reviews so far. So if you have bought a copy of the game, adding a review also goes a long way with the game being visible on Steam. The more reviews that we have, the better. So whether we sponsored a copy to you or you bought a copy, please just leave a review. It helps us out a lot. So I think that just about covers everything.
Does anyone have any questions on that? We're happy to answer anything about what our goals are. We talked a little bit about our roadmap early on the stream. We're always happy to talk about what we are trying to get accomplished. Our roadmap is fairly flexible. Based on what we're learning, and we will change as necessary if there's something critical we need to work on.
How many chickens must I collect to rule the world? Well, the most important chicken is obviously Ugly Face. Look at
just
this.
One.
Look how
the answer is just one.
The answer is 1. 42. That's the answer to life and everything. But yes, Ugly Facington. The unseen celebrity of Alterium Shift, but now clearly is seen. So we're gonna have to do more with Ugly Facington.
Apparently, we're gonna need to find more Ugly Facington type characters. I mean, if we're gonna hit our goal to do pets, we gotta have more pets, right?
My goal by next time we stream, which will probably be sometime this week, is to have Ugly Facington stickers for you guys if you want to purchase them, because I think that would be fun. Stickers, something like that. He definitely has plushie material written all over his beautiful face.
So Zyber asked, will you demo possibly get updated with your now early access goals, or too much for demo users? The demo is the early access game. I don't know how most people do it, but we don't really want to bother with a different version for demo. So
Right.
demo is early access. It's just cut off from a content perspective. So
Right.
the area you get with the Echo Shift node is where it stops. We've blocked off the areas you can go to, and the build doesn't contain any of the assets after that. So the demo always gets updated with the newest updates on early access.
Right.
That means if there's new features that affect the entire game, like CRT filter and whatnot, that'll be in the demo.
That'll be in the demo. Yeah. So any new things that could possibly ever be in the demo will be in the demo because we'll update it in line with the early access version.
Yep.
And that includes any storyline updates that we do at the beginning of the game. You know, if we go through and we decide, you know, from feedback that players, you know, want things to be different with some of the characters, and we decide, yeah, that's probably for the better, you'll get those updates as well on the demo. So, any more questions?
Die for the ugly chicken.
You would die for that ugly chicken. Yeah, dude.
Well,
Ugly Facington is I just did it to be funny, but apparently people love him so very much. I love him now. I loved him before. Honestly, I loved him the whole time I was making him because I was cracking up. I was just laughing at my own drawing. I was like, this bird is awesome. He's a precious, yes, he's a very precious boy. He's.
If you ever wonder like what our dynamic is like, I create the stupid ideas and then he makes them actually something that's interesting.
What's funny is like, yeah, he may be kind of, you know, not the most handsome looking bird, but I think he's adorable in his own way. Just look at him. He's so adorable.
Yeah, he flaps.
I shall leave a review. Count on it. Yay, Bunny Stick. Thank you so much. Awesome stream, fellas. Thank you, Shorty. Thank you all for your support. Continued support.
We want to go to like the double face mode and just wrap up.
Sure, let's double face it. Chat it up.
He has a pompadour. Jeremy, I mean, there's so many things that we can do with these characters. It's so fun.
I know.
To create.
Well, one of my ideas was actually to increase the amount of chickens. Mottzy kind of had that idea too, but maybe other times that you have the ability to go back to Summerton or other towns. We'll think about it. There's so many possibilities we could do with these chickens. Also, endless possibilities. But don't worry about that because we definitely want to do more with it. Because when we find out a player likes something, we're just gonna dig in on it, right? Hopefully, we won't go overboard.
We'll go overboard.
We'll go overboard.
I mean, again, you know, if we're able to get some success with our goals, it will help us even get more space to do what we want to do, right? And it might even be that we'll get additional contract support to do things that don't necessarily need our creative focus. You know, we do look at it as we want to invest back into the game because once it's launched, you know, that's where we want to have like everything we potentially dreamed of putting into. And the next flavor, like after early access, like the current set of content, when we start releasing what's coming next, you'll see a little bit more about where the game is going. We do plan on doing releases for early access beyond the current content level.
Yes.
So it's timeline of that we don't have set, but as we have portions of the game past the ending available, you'll be able to see more. And one of the first and foremost pieces of content that you'll see is a new shift mechanic that will be made available when we do the next round of early access updates. And when I say that, I mean updates of big content features. We're going to continue
not the patches.
Bugs.
Yeah, the patches will mostly be, you know, bug fixes. But once we get the bigger content, we'll do full updates with a larger announcement so people can test it out, try it out. All right, I think that just about does it for this stream.
I think so. I think this is a good wrap-up point. We are going to try to do more streams like this, so keep a lookout. We haven't decided on what a schedule would look like. It's hard to do this during the daytime except for at night during the weeks. So we'll figure out something, but we'll try to schedule something to do semi-regularly so we get a chance to catch people up. And We'll probably do dev streams. We're not just going to do walkthroughs and plays of the game. We'll actually show you some of the stuff we're working on and answer
Yeah.
questions.
We really, I mean, the whole point of this is we really want to engage the community with the progress we're making and to get that feedback, the core essential feedback that we need to make this game better. So, and we thank you for that because we've already received so much and it's just the beginning. So, I think that's it. I'm DrassRay. Thanks for joining us.
I'm Mottzy. Thanks, you all.